Good afternoon and welcome to Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host this afternoon, Tina Prigge, and look who's back. Welcome, Therese Horstketter from Manitowoc Public Library. Therese, always a pleasure to see you, and I even saw you in person today.
Yeah, we have our big art book sale going on in the library, and we pried Tina away from it at some point.
I said to Therese, if I don't show up for the live, it's because I'm still lost in the art book, so send me home. But I made it.
Yes,
And yes, the art book sale started today. It is going on. If you haven't gotten a chance, make plans to go down to the library. They are $1 each for, art books, right? What more needs to be
beautiful.
said?
Just an amazing selection of things.
Yeah. Yeah. But today we have a different topic. Therese is here to talk to us about the upcoming volunteer fair on Thursday, September 15th. Therese, tell us, what is a volunteer fair?
The volunteer fair is it's a 3-hour event. We originally ran it a little bit longer, but thought, no, I think this is enough time. That gives people a little time in the morning, over a lunch hour, and into the afternoon a bit. So it runs from 11 to 2, and it is all sorts of organizations that need volunteer help all in one place. So rather than thinking like, where can I go and volunteer? You can stop in that day, and we have tables set up. You can walk around and talk to representatives. At this point, we have about 17 groups that will be here, and you can stop and talk to them, take information home, or sign up with them on the spot to make a plan to come in and start volunteering.
So if somebody has time, if they've been hoping to make a difference in their community by volunteering in some way, this is a great opportunity to see what organizations are out there and have a need for volunteers, a great opportunity to talk to those organizations and see how, as a volunteer, you might be able to fit in.
Right. And the other thing is, it's a nice place for the groups to come in, and people are still welcome to contact me and get a table. We have tables and chairs ready. People are there ready to talk to you and um, hopefully find volunteers. Everybody needs them. That is going to be in that room. And for such an assortment of different things to be done too. The library utilizes volunteers, and I work with the general volunteers. They do a variety of everything with our book sales, sorting books. We have a lot of students that come in for community service, and they do a lot of little housekeeping jobs, keeping everything dusted, kind of straightened up in the library. And then one of our biggest needs is for tutors, for literacy tutors, one-to-one, where you are trained and partnered up with someone for them to learn English. You do not have to speak another language. You do not have to have been a teacher. Training happens here. And then you are, like I said, paired up. That is one of our greatest needs right now.
And what an incredible way to make a difference in somebody's life, to help them
Right.
to be a better communicator here in our community. We were talking recently with Margot Meyer, and she was explaining that
Mhm.
learning how to speak English better not only makes you a better community
Right.
member, but it makes you, more employable, better at
Right.
your job, even safety wise, like understanding your doctor, communicating with your doctor, reading a prescription label, you know.
So many things. And we've had people gain citizenship, after that was part of what they needed to get there. And so there's some wonderful stories from being a literacy tutor.
Yeah. And it's really important what you say too, that there are so many different roles for volunteers to play. My
Right.
dad is a volunteer with the Lakeshore Humane Society, and his job
Okay.
is to drive animals to different places. So, like, sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, I've got cats today, and they're going to Milwaukee." So just a really fun. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. He
Yeah.
gets to be with these animals, and so depending on, if you've got the time and the inclination to be a volunteer, there is probably something for you, and this is a great place to find your fit.
Right. And I know that I work with volunteers. Some come in weekly, Some just want to help with if we have a bigger thing going on at the library. And like when we have our big book sales and we need more volunteers, they really help at that time rather than coming in weekly. And like I said, we have students, they're trained, they need their community service hours. They just come in as they have time and they log their hours and get a big thing done towards graduation.
Nice.
So that, we work around people's schedules and, it's I'm so grateful for the volunteers that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every organization that uses volunteers is thrilled to have them and for all their help. And like I said, these people are coming back to this because they can always use more volunteers.
And let's be honest, it is truly the volunteers of this world that make the world go round, right? Where
Mhm.
would we be without volunteers?
Right, right. I can say that for sure.
And just because somebody attends the volunteer fair, it does not obligate you, so
No,
you can come and explore and learn and think
right,
about it and get back to these organizations. Just because you come does not mean you have to be a
right.
volunteer.
You can take information home. And like I said, the great thing about this is that you can talk to so many different people and get more of a feel for what you might do. You might never expect to be doing something at a certain place where you just think, "Oh, they just do this, I can't help there." But there might be something you never think of that you can help, and that very often loosens up more staff time for them to get other things done. And so, yeah, there are even one of my volunteers at one point that was helping me with the volunteer fair found another place that she would put in a few more hours a week than just here. And I said, well, she could do that as long as she didn't leave. But but so you might find a couple places. There are places that might need you for an hour or so a week.
Right.
You never know. It's really that's why we do this so that people can come and talk and really get a lot of more information directly from a live person that is part of that organization.
Are you able to mention any of the organizations that are planning to be there?
I can mention all of them if you want.
Sure, sure.
Okay. American Red Cross, Ascend Services, Camp Tapawingo, Capital Civic Center, Farm Wisconsin Discovery Center, Felician Village, Holy Family Memorial Fredert, Hope House, Encourage, Manitowoc County Historical Society, and Manitowoc County Foster Care Program, Manitowoc Special Needs Parent Cafe, Sharon S. Richardson Community Hospice, the Community Blood Center, the Crossing of Manitowoc County, and United Way. So
Wow.
at this point, you've got a lot to think about. And also, if there are any other groups that happen to see this and are not signed up, you still have plenty of time. Just
Oh,
contact me,
okay. So if somebody's watching and they
right?
want to be a part of the volunteer fair in an organization capacity, how do they contact you, Therese?
They can just contact me at my email, which is, well, kind of hard to give here, but they can contact me through my email. They can also just call the library. They will put them through to my office.
And tell me, is it T. Horstketter? I'll put it on the
It is,
screen
sure. It
at
is T,
manitowoc.org. Okay.
yep, at manitowoc.org. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Did I do that right? Does that look right?
That looks right. Thank
Okay.
you.
If you're watching this and you think, oh my gosh, my organization should be involved with the volunteer fair, we could definitely benefit from connecting with volunteers, just get in touch with Therese at this email that you see on the screen.
Right. We are still having some people rolling in, which I'm happy to see.
Very
So,
nice.
or if you know a group, tell them about it. If they haven't been involved before, let them know. And
Yeah.
let people know if they're looking to volunteer. If you think somebody just needs a little push, maybe, and just mention, we've got this, it's casual. You're not signing on for anything right at the moment unless you want to.
From a volunteer's perspective, what do you think makes it the most rewarding?
For volunteering anywhere, I think you can see things that you're doing. I think that I can't imagine that staff would not mention how thankful they are and enjoy working with the volunteers.
Yeah.
It's just you are doing something. I had a couple of people when I first took over this position that said, we did a little article and I asked why they volunteered, and one of them said, I've always loved the library. When I retired, it was my first thought for volunteering for what I've
Nice.
gotten from the library. And you may not have gotten something from each of these groups, not directly, but we're one big community that one place affects another.
Right.
So, it's a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, and so fulfilling to know that, by playing a small role, you can make a difference, right? You can have this
Right,
positive impact for that organization, which is serving others, which is a part of the greater community, like Therese said. And it's also, I think, a great way to, just make sure that a person is getting out and about and staying socially connected. You can meet new
right,
people that way. From the whole social aspect of it, there's a lot of benefits too, I think.
right. I definitely see that with my volunteers. We have some that, like I said, some that come in each week, and you can tell that they look forward to seeing each other. And yeah, it's just a really nice thing
And this is
that
not
way.
the first year. This is, I think you said, maybe the fourth
This is
annual.
about the 4th year that we've had it. We skipped 1 year with COVID, and I'm thinking that 2018 was the first one we had. We had one in spring and in fall, and then we decided once a year at this time was kind of nice when, kids were back to school and parents might have a little time, or grandparents who were maybe, having the kids more in summer, and that it might just be a nice time to consider it.
Yeah, it's lovely. All right, so this is the Manitowoc Public Library Volunteer Fair. It is Thursday, September 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is an in-person event at the Balkansky Community Room at Manitowoc Public Library. And if you still wanted to sign your organization up, just reach out to Therese at thorstketter@manitowoc.org.
That sounds good.
Anything else they need to know, Therese?
No, I think that's about it. We just
Awesome.
hope we'll have a lot of people walking through our doors.
So thank you so much for joining us on Coffee on the Coast with this important information and for sharing it with the community. Yes, I hope that if you're inclined to be a volunteer, that you make a beautiful connection at this event. And I just want to thank everyone for watching this episode of Coffee on the Coast.
Thanks for having us.
See you next time. Bye.